This July, I took a 1-week trip to Santorini and other beautiful Greek islands. That was not sufficient enough for me, so I extended my trip by another 15 days staying in Athens. And my job still made it possible because I have a remote content marketing job. It offers me a lot of flexibility. I don't need to stay at one particular location and I can work with some restrictions whenever I want to. I am also supposed to travel to Miami up to 3 times a year on a company-sponsored trip. If you want all of these cool perks, then you should try a remote content marketing job. So let me rewind a bit. Last year, from about June, I started to think of getting a remote job. I explored various content marketing jobs, applied for about 10 to 15 positions, and I got through interview rounds and multiple assignments. It was like a month-long process, and finally I was interviewing at multiple companies, leading me after multiple rejections to a content marketing director's role. Currently, I work as an inbound marketing director at a marketing agency based in Miami. And today I want to share how you can get a content marketing job working remotely from your hometown, from a village, from wherever you want to if you have an internet connection. Let's get started with step number 1. There are some prerequisites before you begin applying for a content marketing job role in a remote capacity. First one, you should have a relevant body of experience. I had freelance writing experience for about 6 to 7 years. After being published at decent publications, I was able to make a case for hiring me in a full-time position. You should also have results to show from your content marketing. I had my own website which had reached about 50,000 monthly visitors starting from scratch in about a couple of years or something, and I had hired writers. And my experience was relevant for a leadership position. I even didn't know that myself, and I was applying for managerial roles and even beginner content marketing roles. Depending on the kind of role you want to get hired for, you will need some relevant experience. I'm assuming you are writing in some capacity at least. This is not a tutorial for an entry-level job role. I can create something like that. If you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments box below. But this is more sort of a tutorial when you are looking to go from maybe a freelance to a full-time remote position or a full-time to a remote position. You have some relevant experience already. Your skills and your certifications are not really as important as the results that you have derived from your content marketing skill sets. Your employers will care about the kind of results that you have driven, not so much about your education or your certification, though they definitely can help. But results and the relevant body of work will almost always triumph education, even if it is like a 4-year degree that you have done in marketing, engineering, or whatever. Another prerequisite, please get ready for rejection. It is not about you. You will have to send a lot of applications, not maybe hundreds, but still a decent number. And you might hear back from people telling you that you're not a fit for the role. Your experience is not good enough. You lack in a certain skill set. Treat them as stepping stones to grow in your career and take feedback positively. Maybe use it in your next application for a remote content marketing job role. Don't get very emotional about your applications. The second step, look out for remote content marketing jobs. Where do you begin? I began on content marketing job boards. I used Superpath. It had a lot of relevant opportunities, and new opportunities always tend to spring up on this job board. It's just a job board for the content marketing industry, and a lot of positions on the job board are remote. You can also look out for such opportunities on LinkedIn and maybe even content marketing communities. Sometimes even Facebook, Slack channels can have some exclusive job opportunities, and you can also find such opportunities at your favorite company's career pages. So, well, how do you keep track of them? You can just create a list of the top companies in your industry that you would love to work for, that have a blog, that have a content marketing program, that can use content marketing to grow, maybe if they don't have a blog or something. And then keep a track of their career pages. Just visit them and see if they are hiring any content marketer. Even if they're not doing it, you can just reach out to them and tell them that, you want a content marketing job. This can be like a cold prospecting thing that you can try on the top of your normal prospecting across job boards, LinkedIn, communities, etc. Another quick way to get content marketing jobs could be just asking your freelance clients. Maybe they want to hire a full-time content marketer. Just visit their career page if they have put it out there. And if they have not put it out there, and if you propose this idea to them, maybe they will have the budget and you will not have any competition. So you can just get hired really soon, really quickly, and you will already have some relevant experience of working with them. You will have a rapport with them, and it could be just an easier process to get hired. I know freelancers who got hired in a full-time capacity by their companies because they had them as clients before and they had a good rapport and they already had a contract ongoing with them. They just converted the freelance opportunity into a full-time remote one. Okay, now it's time to start filtering relevant content marketing jobs. So don't apply for every opportunity you see out there. You need to evaluate your fit. You need to see if it really meets the kind of pay expectations that you have set for yourself. You need to see if the company is doing something which you find interesting, if they have a culture in which you can thrive and which you would like. It should be composed of people that you find inspiring. Vet the company, vet the job posting, vet the responsibilities, and see if you have relevant skill sets and relevant experience to really fulfill the responsibilities. Let me show you a few content marketing opportunities right now at Superpath, and let's see how you can filter relevant content marketing job roles. Okay, so let's look at the Superpath job board. The first thing I did, I put on filters for remote okay and remote only. Here are the job opportunities available that are remote, and specifically I'll try and apply for the most recent ones. This is a freelance writing position. Maybe you don't want to pursue that, so I'll just look out for the content marketing manager, copywriting position, experienced writers position at this agency, social media position. Now this is going like 1 month down the line. I'm right now in October first week, and I think this could be really far-fetched. After about a month or so, companies might have had a lot of applications, a lot of interest. So I recommend you to apply as soon as they actually have posted this job opportunity to be the first few, but don't be in the middle of their hiring phase. You can still get a call if you are applying towards the end, because not a lot of people will apply once the job post is really old. This is what happened with one of the jobs I applied at and I got shortlisted. It can still invoke some interest. See, these hiring cycles can run into a couple of months. It can even take a quarter. So I'll just look out for this opportunity, content marketing manager. They are looking for someone to do strategy and messaging. They'll report to the head of content. Okay, so you will be kind of in a managerial position reporting to the head of content. It will primarily focus on planning and creating content assets at a consideration stage of their buying journey. So it's more like a B2B. It's an e-commerce product search and discovery that increases revenue, conversions, and profit. Job requirements. This is the most important thing. At least 3 years of relevant experience in SaaS content, exceptional written skills, proven experience in successfully creating and distributing various types of content such as infographics, guides, strong marketing fundamentals, think critically and strategically, excellent project management, ownership and growth mentality. Now what I'll do is if I have relevant experience in SaaS content, they are saying at least 3, but remember, they don't really want you to always have 3. If you can demonstrate a strong writing skill set, a strong writing portfolio, then that should be good enough to give you a pass in this. You have written for a B2B audience. Of course, if you're writing SaaS content, and specifically like B2B SaaS content, then this should be something that follows. So if you have a strong portfolio and if you have then created these different kinds of content assets, you will be a fit for applying for this position. Definitely it will help if you have some results to show from your content marketing. So as they are saying, you have familiarity with SEO best practices and content KPI reporting using tools such as Google Analytics and SEMrush. So you'll need some managerial experience, not really some leadership experience, but just ownership, growth mentality, playing around with such tool sets. So if you have played around with, say, like SEMrush, Ahrefs, Google Analytics, you understand KPIs, you have some results to show from your content marketing, you have a strong portfolio, then you will be a fit. Even if you don't check all the boxes, even if you check like 2 to 3 boxes, you can apply for this position if what this company is doing sounds interesting to you. That's one of the relevant things that I always look out for. This seems interesting to me personally, e-commerce product search and discovery. So I will definitely go ahead with applying for this. The responsibilities that you will have to do: write and distribute content across the customer journey, own constructors, publishing work stream, create in-depth product-led content briefs, interview internal and external SMEs to create product-led content. Okay, so all of this sounds like something interesting for a person who's a little senior content marketer who has some experience in even mentoring writers. So I'll just click apply for this position, and this will either take you to an external place where there will be the application form. It's again an overview, maybe a more detailed version of the same job role, and then there will be the application itself. You can either import your resume or just like fulfill all of these things. Your cover letter will be really important. If you want to paste it as a PDF, that's also fine, that also will work. Your website, your personal website really helps. If you have especially gotten a lot of relevant SaaS experience, then you should share it here so that people can look at your pitch that's tailored for SaaS content marketing. Your cover letter should highlight your relevant experience regarding all of the things that I talked about here, which they have as a requirement. If you have any results to show, if you have a relevant experience in SaaS content, sharing your strongest samples with the results that they got for the company you wrote them for could be really nice. And you should also talk a bit about the company in your cover letter, why you're applying for them, what really appeals to you about their company values, about their founder and stuff like that. So many companies might be okay with hiring remote talent if they really like you. So apply for job opportunities even if they have not mentioned that they will accept remote candidates. I did so for one company that I really liked, and they rejected me because I was in a different time zone and they were strict about it, but I let the rejection happen from their side. The skill sets and tools mentioned in the job posts are their ideal candidates' requirements. It's rare to find such combos, even if you have 2 to 3 skill sets out of 5 required. If you're not well versed with a tool that's mentioned as a requirement in the job posting, still apply for the opportunity, especially my great women friends out there, because males tend to be overconfident and apply for a job posting even if they are not versed with all of the responsibilities and they don't have the relevant skill sets mentioned in the job opportunity. Women don't. But you don't know the kind of applications that a job is getting, and typically employers are fine even if you don't have 100 on 100 in terms of requirements. They can still consider you for the later phases if you are a fit and if you have other relevant skill sets for the job opportunity which are really strong. All of this said and done, the most important filter for a remote content marketing job for most people will be the pay. If the job post and the company does not mention anything about remote work on their website or on the job post, then just be upfront and ask the company's hiring manager about their budget and about your expectations. Clear it up upfront to avoid getting embarrassed later. It's not uncommon for companies actually to negotiate down the line if they are hiring their first few remote workers. And I myself actually negotiated with a company, but that is when you have established the great repo and the company really wants you. This is something which can be a tricky thing to do if you want to ensure that you don't want to get a lowballing offer at all. Then please be upfront about it. I still went ahead with applying for job opportunities. I didn't care about the money. Even if it was not mentioned on a job post, I just went ahead. Also remember that the pay could be mentioned for a full-time in-office position. If you're applying remotely, then different kinds of compensation may apply. But if you're confident about your skill sets, as we'll discuss later in the video, you can negotiate for a higher pay. Okay, now let's talk about applying for jobs. So it's very important to only mention your relevant experience and relevant writing samples to the job post. If you're applying for a B2B position, only show relevant B2B writing samples. Try to share only your most relevant experiences in terms of writing and results. And also talk about results. Have you grown a company's blog by XYZ% in terms of organic traffic? Have you gotten them some leads? Have you increased their conversions? Try to talk in terms of the results as close to the bottom line as possible. If you're applying even for a relatively beginner level content marketing role, always show your relevant writing samples. Sometimes these jobs might ask for your resume, some may ask for going through a test, some may ask you to fill up a form or a cover letter. All of these components are very important and all of these jobs might have different requirements. For applying for jobs, always customize these things. Maybe you can have a common thing about your skill sets, but always personalize it to the company you're applying for. Read about the founders, about the company values, and share why you are interested in working with this company. The narrative that you build in terms of why you want to work for this company, why you want to get hired, the results that you mention, all of these things should stay consistent. So the thing that you mention here should always lead up to all of the other questions. It should be in sync even in the later stages of your content marketing remote job application. When I was applying for jobs, I was always telling people about my experience of running a website, hiring writers, growing it to about 50k visitors a month, and creating a publishing calendar, knowing my way around tools like Ahrefs, Surfer, SEO, Google Analytics, and a bunch of other SEO and analytics tools. Your job post will mention the requirements clearly, so try and phrase your experience and your skill set as per the requirements. Always remember the principal agent problem. It's a good mental framework while applying for job posts. Basically, you need to align your goals with your employer. Your employers will want to grow the company. They will want to recoup the investment in hiring a new person. That's you. So tell them the results that you've derived in terms of leads, traffic, conversions, and the like. The more closer to the bottom line, the better. Talk in terms of output that you have derived for previous companies you have worked for, not just the input in terms of number of articles or in terms of just the body of work that you have. The next step, follow up. Very simple. You might have fallen off some employer's radar and they might just reply telling you that, hey, we already selected for this role, so you're automatically rejected. That's good to know. And if you are by chance unable to reach in somebody's inbox, for instance, for a job I was applying, my email was repeatedly bouncing back. And when I applied through the job board, I was not sure if my application is even reaching them. So I reached out to the company's founder on LinkedIn. I dropped them a cold message that, hey, I'm trying to apply for this job and I'm really interested in it. So, hey, if you want to evaluate my application, I can just share my details here. And they were really happy with me being proactive, and I actually got interviewed for that position later. It didn't turn out to be successful, but I got 2 interview rounds and they were really impressed with me being proactive and with my application overall. Congratulations on getting shortlisted for a job. Now it's still time to put in more effort. Most content marketing jobs you will apply for will have 3 to 5 rounds of stages. I myself went through about 3 to 5 stages. It involved 2 rounds of interviews and 1 round of a content assignment. For most jobs I applied, at the time I applied, even for jobs that were publicly offering less than $60,000 a year, they got 200 applications or something, and it was not uncommon for me to get assignments which could take 5 hours or something of my time. Indeed, they also offered paid assignments, and I quoted industry standard rates. You can do the same. If an employer is not offering you to pay for some of these in between stages, then it could be rather a red flag. So you should proactively ask for it and maybe even turn down the opportunity altogether if you're not getting paid and if you have to put in a lot of effort. All of the assignments you get, put your best feet forward. I spent my heart and soul into all of the assignments I got. These will typically be about their own website, how they can improve a specific article, how they can update a specific article, or how they can grow their overall website using a content or SEO strategy. Such things will be pretty common in such assignments, and you should put in the hard time. Do not send generic replies to such tests. Put in the time and effort. Your hard work will be appreciated and it will help you get shortlisted for such positions. The last step, accept job offers, but only after negotiating. So you see, you will get a lot of rejections, as I already told you. So you should respond gracefully to rejections. Got a call from a company to state that I have been rejected, and it was just weird to be on the call. But I still took it on my chest. I definitely felt a little bad for getting rejected, but they just found a better candidate with just more relevant skills than me. So that was fine. I got a different job opportunity, which was actually better than what I could have gotten there. If you get multiple job opportunities, do not ghost. The content marketing industry is a really small circle of people, and to burn bridges will not be helpful down the line. You may have to deal with the same set of people down the line, so don't burn bridges. Respond gracefully, and even if you have to reject a job opportunity, you can be honest with the hiring manager. Just reach out to them and tell them that you're accepting a different opportunity because it was a better fit for you. One of the most important steps in a remote content marketing job is your contract. So once everything is in place and you have got the job opportunity, read the contract carefully. For a remote role, depending on where you are in the world, there can be certain legal aspects to it. So hire a local legal professional. They can help you with deciding on the right kind of arrangement between you and the third party company. It could be profitable for both of you, and you can also discuss the specific terms that could be relevant in terms of your remote job. Are you required to travel? If it is, then who will pay the expenses? In my contract, I had a clause which said that the company will pay for it, and I might have to travel for about 3 times per year. This is of course dependent on the visa and the other aspects, but having these clauses down will be really important in a remote content marketing job role. And the most important part of a remote content marketing job is negotiation. So many employers that will hire a remote job might have a policy in place. Buffer, for instance, has a public salary calculator. All of their professional salaries are public. They have a base, and on the top of that base salary, they have a multiplication based on where you are in the world. For a remote job, specifically living in your own country, you may have to do with a lower pay than the one mentioned in content marketing job surveys, or even the one specifically advertised on the job posting. But you have to find the middle way, because employers might always be up for negotiations unless they already mention it on their own website as a value that they don't negotiate. Some companies do it, but remember, employers expect you to negotiate. The number you get in your job offer letter, it probably might be okay even if you quote a 50% higher number. You can expect to get paid much higher, so be willing to negotiate, specifically if you're confident of your skill sets and you get the vibe that the employer is really happy with you. They really are looking forward to working with you. And that's all, my friends. I hope this video was helpful for you to get started with how to get a remote content marketing job. If you have any questions still about how to apply for a remote content marketing job, then let me know in the comments box below. I'll be happy to help you.